The following podcast is rated G for gammon. Please be aware it may contain some coarse language and is not suitable for children or gammon audiences.
Say more. Say more. Say more.
And we're on. Which way, you mob? Hello, this is your host, Aaron Nagas, the one and only star of the show, and I'd like to welcome my friendly small side chick here, Carly Wallace.
I'll take it. You know I will. Hello, everyone. Welcome back.
I said side chick. Sorry, I meant sidekick.
Side chick. Holy.
Don't get any ideas. It was sidekick. Sorry about that. My brain isn't working after a long day.
The side chick is, I can definitely confirm that's not a thing. A side gig I am. Good. I've been called a lot worse, so I'll take side gig. That's all right. On my own podcast. All goods. How you doing, brother?
Hey, guys, sister. How's the week been so far?
I'm all right. What's happening? What is the go? What are we yarning about today? The people want to know. I'll tell you what, we're getting the feedback coming in fast and thick. They're loving the people are loving the jokes, obviously from me, because you're not funny, so I don't know.
My shoulders are getting sore from carrying the humour in this group. I can tell you that much. But any famous comedians want to come on and help us out, help me out. Try lift the humour up in this podcast. That'd be amazing. Thank you.
I think we're doing all right. We're doing good.
We're doing good.
It's a mix of ridiculous and simple and serious, all at the same time. Mm-hmm. That's what them yarns is. But tonight we got something else for you. What have we got today?
Talking about being a mix of simple and serious. I've got a story. I've got a yarn for you. So, as we know, we have very large black families all around the country. And I was yarning with one of my cousins there. Must be on the weekend. He's a bit of a devo, a bit of a deviant. And he always has an interesting story to tell me about his times when I'm like there and being an old fellow. I'm like, oh yeah, that's funny, nephew, blah blah blah.
How young is he? Wait, how old is this cousin?
I can't reveal his age because I'm talking about.
Are we 20s? Are we talking 20s, 30s, 40s? Give us a bracket.
Yeah, like in between like late 20s, early 30s.
Okay, peak degenerate devo. Yeah,
age. Okay. So they got the money now. They can afford to
spend it on
whatever they want to spend it on. So one of the stories he was saying, like, he was catching up with a few mates, and they went to one of the establishments where people dance for a living.
Are you talking about a strip club?
Yes, I'm talking about a strip club. Sorry, I was trying to keep it PG.
Why are you trying to keep it PG?
I don't know.
This is rated G for gammon. Come on, you know you can say
it. Rated G for gammon. So they went to the strippers. They had a few drinks, like, this is a bit slack. Let's go to strippers. At the strippers. And they're regulars at this one establishment, and I saw a new girl, like, oh. And one of the fellas goes, she looks Murray, eh? He's like, I think she does. Anyway, so they're like, yeah, let's get her over here. So they, put some money up, and she's like, yeah, right, so come and we'll go for a dance. And so she's dancing, and I don't know how these things work. I've never been in one of those places. But, they're like talking, she's dancing. You're like, oh, yeah, hey, he's going. Like, they said, she's talking. Like, oh, yeah, where he's from. And the more questions they're asking, like the stiffer she was dancing. and they're like, and this lad's like, no. Are you from Bundaberg?
No.
And that's where we got lots of family in Bundaberg.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, time might be up, eh? And then just like hooked it. And he's like, I'm pretty sure I know that girl's family. Oh. And he's like, I knew, like I told you she was Maria. She was definitely blackfella because he's one of the mates that they were the two mates that my cousin and his mate, they're both blackfella. So one's my mob and the other one's another mob around CQ there. So they're like, nah, like she's a little bit light skinned, but like, nah, she's definitely Murray. And yeah, they said sister girl didn't even look at them for the rest of the night. They're throwing money around, like thinking they're big deadly rap stars throwing money out like they got it. But yeah, they're like, nah.
So I want to know why they're having conversations at a strip club. That's what I want to know.
Just like while they're, so they've gone into like a private area and so like they talk and they dance, sometimes they talk and stuff or whatever. So they're like having a yarn while it's... Really?
Because strippers back in my day, let me tell you, I may or may not have been to a strip club, notoriously Sydney, King's Cross. If you're going to do a strip club, back in that time, which was, gosh, mid 2000s, it was a good time. Now, you're going to go to the strip club. They're open to like 24 hours, some of them. So
Yeah.
club's finished. You end up at the strippers and they wouldn't talk. There was no talking going on. So I don't know. In saying that, I did get chatted up from a stripper, I think. Now, this is a very foggy, groggy memory. This was back in the day. Don't judge me. It's when I was a drinker. And the girl and the strippers ended up shouting me drinks. And I was like, is that normal? It's not normal. I'm like, pretty sure people come here to buy you drinks and give you money. I got that at the strip club. That was a fun time. So what, they're just talking to this girl or she's talking to them and they're like
just a bit of both. So they're
out.
they're just like, oh yeah, like she's dancing and they're like talking, and I think maybe like the thing is like you try and make like a little gammon connection with them, and they're like, so that's how they get more money from you, like oh yeah, I love horses.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, she loves horses. Yeah, have another $50. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Oh, I really
they
love
don't all
your
do
heart.
it.
You're a Broncos supporter too. Like, it's not hard, right? And you're getting more money.
That's right.
I really admire girls that are in the sex worker game because it's the oldest profession in the world. You know what I mean? Like, I know there's a lot of mob there that are doing it now, and especially on OnlyFans and things like that. It's actually a hard process. And what I've heard, it's like a lot of work. You know, you got to
if it was easy,
hustle,
like it's easy. It's easy for like a handful of people who are really genetically blessed, and they've been algorithmed into people's feeds.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Can I tell you about the time? And this is just what it reminded me of, because I how am I going to say this? I hooked up with a guy once and he reverse catfished me. So I saw him on Tinder, right? This is like years ago. And he came up on my Tinder and I looked at, and this guy was dead set. I mean, if we're talking tens, this guy was a 20. And I'm not joking. Like, he was like next level model looking. The 6-pack, 7 foot tall, like huge, like, and not just a skinny 6-pack, like, I mean, beefed up 6-pack, not like muscle, like bodybuilder 6-pack, but very fit, chiseled, everything. Like, this guy was a model, and he had model shots with like him and like a girl, like a modeling picture. And he swiped on me, right? And I was like, there's no way that this person's real. There's just no way. Anyway, he swipes back. And so I just swipe because I'm like, it's still a hot photo. I'm going to like it back. I don't care if it's a catfish. That's why I'm toxic. It's so bad, even though I know I'm like, still a hot photo. Anyway, he starts talking to me. And I'm like, you're totally a catfish. Like, I know you're a catfish. So like, I don't know why you people do these things. Like, I start going off and he's like, I'm not a catfish. I'm like, there's no way this 20-point man is going to swipe on me. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm a good 5 on a good day. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I know my lane and I'm not in yours. So this guy, you would think Gold Coast, bikini girl, skinny as hell. Yeah. That's who he would be going for. Anyway, he swipes on me, little old Murray with curves from North Queensland. There's no way he's real. He goes, oh, what's your number? I'll send you a photo of me right now. And I'm like, yeah, righto. I said, sure. And then he does a video. He sends a video and he's like, I told you I'm not a catfish. This is me. And then literally shows up and I'm like, Christ. And like people can AI this shit now. They can do it. But this was before AI. This was before those things. So I'm like, if this fella's for real, he is like, okay, why don't you come down and see me? And he was like, at the Gold Coast. And I was like, okay, why not? I'm single. You're single. If you're real, I need to see that this person is real. And I'm thinking, there's no way, man. So I go down. I know this is Carly 2.0. I go down to meet this person. He is exactly who he says he is. He looks exactly like he reverse catfished me. Now, I thought I'm going to get there. He's going to be totally ugly. It's not the guy. I'm going to be catfish. In fact, I was like, wow. This is the real life person. And it ties in with this because he was setting up an OnlyFans. And I was like, of course you are. He's like, do you think I should do it? What do you mean? I said, look, you can do the OnlyFans, but as long as you know there'll be a lot of gay boys that'll be looking at, and that's a complete compliment. They will be your main clientele along with, like, I'm not paying for it because I'm getting it for free, obviously. But you should definitely do it. And he goes, yeah, I've set it up, but like it's not live. And like he showed me his whole thing and I was like, where? And that was the first time that I'd met someone who had really
getting into it.
done OnlyFans. Because, we talk about it and you go, it's just the 1%ers that you see of these content girls or, but there's so many people that are everyday people that are just doing it, that are just getting into the game.
Yeah. I was thinking about like how small the black community is. So,
Yes.
if you're Murray in particular, like pretty much everybody that else is Murray. Like I know we're all like, oh yeah, Queensland's a massive state, but like
It's
there
not.
is hardly anybody that I've met that doesn't know somebody from my family. They might not know me, and they might not even know my mum, which is pretty hard to
not
believe. But like they know somebody that has my last name or that I'm related to. And so I was like, so how can blackfellas do porn? Like, can we actually do porn? So I'm not saying can't do sex work. That's different.
Yeah, sex work's totally different. If you're doing sex work and you're, doing whatever you want to do. But can we do porn, as in public porn, on the TV porn, on your phone?
On your phones, on your...
Yeah. I haven't seen any. I don't think I've seen anyone do porn. That's not like an OnlyFans maybe situation that's a setup for but like actual professional porn is what you're talking about, like on
Yeah, that's right.
Like an old school porn. Like I guess you can categorize, right, that porn now is like your OnlyFans. That is a version of porn.
And you were saying that there is some blackfellas who do OnlyFans and stuff. Okay.
There is.
I'm
Did you not know
pretty
that? You didn't know it?
No.
Yes.
I knew that. I saw that there's one person who was trying because somebody added me and I was like, they don't look real. And then, they were just trying to promote their OS and like...
There's a lot of people on Tinder and online and like on the dating things, especially girls from what I've heard, that are only there to promote their OnlyFans. But I've met a couple of guys that have they're doing OnlyFans. They and their partners are doing it, and then sometimes it's like their woman who just wants to do it, and the man's like, yeah, I don't care, go and do it. But at the beginning, I think that's the conversation, and then it's gone into messiness of like, wait a minute, I'm actually not okay with you doing that now.
I was about to say, I think COVID was the big one, right? Like,
right.
I think COVID, there's like a bunch of people like, well, we're just sitting around the house all day. There's all these other people sitting in the house. Like, why don't we just start some OnlyFans and see if we can make money? Because, the shops weren't open, stuff wasn't open. So people were like, how am I going to make money? And that was, they got a phone in their hand,
And OnlyFans didn't even start out as porn. It was just this exclusive, like, extra content. If you want to subscribe, you can see extra things behind the scenes. And then it turned into, I guess, like a porn style stuff.
I have heard some of the different ones, like people that bathe in soup and milk and those sort of things. To, like that's random food things. And there was that ASMR thing where people are making the sounds and doing the whatever.
People love it. Everyone's got a kink, right? Everyone's got their thing. I don't think I have a kink. I'm so boring. I'm like I'm just a plain old Tim Tam. You know what you're going to get. You know what I mean? I'm like, every now and then I might chuck in like a dark chocolate or a caramel. Like I might find one of those sometime. But otherwise, I'm just like, no, I don't want any other crazy ass Tim Tam. This is the Tim Tam, you take it or leave it. But some people, they have their kinks and that's the space for it. But I don't think I've ever seen, when we're talking about traditional media forms of like video, pornography, that the industry, I don't know if we could do it. I couldn't definitely do it. Could you imagine me doing it? Could you imagine? I'd laugh for one, but it wouldn't be as serious.
It would be hard to.
What would my scene be? Okay, let's say that's
here we go.
Yeah, come on.
This is not where I thought it was going. What would your scene be?
Well, like out of all the scenes, some people have like, the doctor and the patient, or whatever the little gammon porn storyline. What's my storyline if I had a porn storyline?
What's your porn storyline?
Like if a porn director came to me tomorrow.
We didn't prep for this. That's the title of your porno.
Are you here to walk my dogs?
Yeah, I was about to say something with the dogs. Like,
are you here to clean
my
house?
The dogs escape. The dogs escape, and he rescues your dogs. She's like, "How will I ever thank you? I don't have any money." And like, I know how you can thank me. And then
I know how you can. Yeah, I'll cook you curry chicken. Imagine me, horrible. That's just
my
a
goodness.
that's bad.
And the other thing I thought of, so we've got some listeners from other like
Yeah.
smaller islands, like the smaller our eighth state, ninth state down to the bottom east there, but also some other islanders, like even in their communities, like
You couldn't do it.
I think it's because of colonization, there's a really heavy Christian influence on a lot of
Yes.
people's families. So that would be like the shame factor of that as well. Um, but also like you're just so interconnected. You wouldn't be,
And you
you
could be
know,
looking at your cousin.
yeah,
We didn't even mention that. That could be
no,
your
no,
relation, and
that
you're
would
there
be,
trying to look at
yes,
their stuff.
yeah. That's definitely the other kicker. You're like, okay.
Yeah. Look, anyone that's got the balls to do it, I take my hat off because I
Oh,
can't even walk
go for
around.
gold. Like if you
Yeah.
can make money off that, then you do you,
I
boo.
wish I was born like ridiculously good looking. You know, those people that they're just
Yeah.
so good looking. Like the reverse catfish guy. Like, how are you this good looking?
I
Like, you
know.
can literally make money off your looks. Like, you don't have to do anything.
It's
Some
really
of us,
hard,
yeah.
but I just get through life. It's
I know.
just
I was about to say it's. Tell me, please. I
yeah,
need
yeah.
an answer. Oh man.
And the other thing, that people are doing now is like streaming, right? So
Oh
like you have
yeah.
these streamers and they literally just like they get paid to just play games online. You're just like, what? Like, or
Oh.
or like, let's talk online. Like, oh, I'm reading a book or blah blah blah. I'm like, we can do that. Like, why aren't we getting out
Why
there
are we doing
reading
it?
books or playing bloody PlayStation and be like, hey, watch me play PlayStation. This is cool.
Well, that's what I don't know if anyone knows the YouTuber Spanian, and that's how he pretty much got famous. Like he had a rap career, obviously, but then he just started telling his yarns about jail, and then it went to just him playing games and streaming, and
Yeah, yeah,
people were just paying money to watch him talk and like play the game. I'm like, man, I can do mediocre stuff. Like watch me hang the clothes, give
yeah,
me a
yeah,
dollar,
yeah.
you know.
Watch me sit at my desk and do my work today.
But there are actual porn sites as well that they're just normal couples and they're like, oh, yep, just jumping on, doing a stream and we're just going to have sex for everyone. And our kids are in the room next door. I don't know about that. That's next level. But these are, I guess, this is that traditional pornography industry where it was very male dominated. They were making a lot of money off women, exploiting women. And now women are kind of taking control of that and
Yeah.
are finding other ways to make money from themselves.
What I love the most about this OnlyFans and stuff like that is how hurt some men are about it. They're like, oh, you're a simp. Like, you're paying this. Why are you paying this woman, bro? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you watch it too. Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, you're a consumer complaining about women making money from the stuff that you're consuming. Like, that has to be some of the dumbest shit I've heard. Like you get these men, and you probably don't see it as much as I do. Some of the groups men groups that I'm part of. Yeah, they're literally like, oh yeah, your missus probably does OnlyFans. And I've
Like it's
seen
a
blokes
bad
like,
thing.
yeah, bro, I do, and she does, and we make 10 grand a month. What are you doing?
What are you doing with your
You know what I
life?
mean? Like he's like, you
Yeah.
think you're shaming me because you're too insecure
That's so
for your
funny.
woman to be able to do this stuff.
Yeah.
But I find that even more entertaining. Like I don't know if I could do it myself. If things got desperate, I lost my job. I'm like, oh, what am I going to do with my life? But I find it so entertaining that these men are like literally crying online
They're so
because
triggered.
they can't do it themselves.
Yeah.
Yet they can't stop consuming the content. Like
Yeah, it's a vicious cycle. You know what I love doing now? Being single, men, will ask for photos when you're on these dating sites and stuff. Oh, send a pic, send a pic. My favorite line now, and it has been for the last few years, is do you really think in this day and age, in the OnlyFans day and age, that I'm sending a picture for free?
Yeah,
There's
send me
women out
money.
here making money off these pictures. You think you're just going to get it for free? And then
Yeah.
if they're like, oh well, that's not. Well, off you go. Go and find
Yeah.
somebody else. Like
Go
you're
pay for
trying
it.
to get this content for free, and there are women out here now that are like, no, you can pay for it, and suffering your jocks. I love that.
Suffering your jocks. I don't know if our community. I don't know if our small little minority mobs, island mobs, Aboriginal mobs. I don't know if we can do that sort of stuff. But
No,
if you're out
unfortunately.
there and you're doing it and you want to come yarn on the podcast,
Yeah.
come and have a yarn with us. Like we
I
want to
was
know.
so genuinely interested. I'm genuinely
thing.
interested in that.
No kink shaming.
No
Love
kink
is
shaming.
love.
Tell
Do what
me
you
about
do.
it. Tell me about
wanna
how you
talk
get
to
into it. how much do you make? Like, I want to know all these things. You know, I did think about signing up for footfinder.com. Yeah.
Footfinder.
Footfinder.com, everyone. It's a site. My niece told me about it, which is really problematic. I'm like, well, how do you know about this? She's like, everyone knows about it. I'm like, well, obviously not. Anyway, the fact that a 17-year-old knew about it, I'm like, I don't like this. But footfinder.com, so I checked it out, and you upload your feet pics, but you have to create a whole profile and like put it out there or whatever, just like you would, you know, in OnlyFans or whatever. And it's just feet. It's just, and I'm like, what's a foot?
Feet.
What's a foot? What is a foot?
I got broken toe. I got broken toe pics.
Well, you know what?
Maybe somebody will pay me for them.
Did you know there's subcategories of feet pics? Did you know
No, there
this?
isn't.
Yeah, let me tell you about them. So I was going to sign up, but you've got to pay like a subscription, and then they take a little bit. You got to upload your whole, like, I was going to do it as an experiment.
Upload your whole what?
Good chooch. I should probably finish that sentence. You have to upload your whole ID and like the whole. I'm like, I don't know if I want Feet Finder to know my whole like life. It's just my feet. Anyway, so there's full subcategories. So there's like arched feet, socks, dirty feet, manicure, like pedicures. Is it pedis? Yeah, pedis. Yeah. Tattooed feet, flat feet. Yeah, you'd think it's just a foot. Oh no.
If there's a category that is brown, mangled up, flat, coconut, damper foot, I'm gonna start making some money. I don't mind sharing my feet.
It's just a foot. It like what?
Just a foot. What do you
I don't find it sexual. Like I get nothing out of it. But if you're gonna get something, sure, go right ahead. It's my stinking foot. Go for it, bruh. You know?
On the weekend, we were having some drinks, like I said, with some cousins and stuff, and one of the lads that we didn't know was there, and they were giving him grief about having a foot fetish.
Really?
Like, what is like? No, this lad like literally has a foot fetish.
There's people, it's a dead set thing.
And like it's so weird that you're talking about it. But I was like, is this actually a thing? And he like, we were a bit charged up, so you know, everybody's like, lad, he loves the toes and blah, and like, and he's like, he's obviously got charged up and told them.
Oh no.
Like, yeah. Then one of them's like, Nagas, show him your toes. I was like, what? But they meant show him the picture of my broken toe.
Yeah.
And so like, I don't know if I showed you a picture, but I've literally got a photo where my foot is like, you can see the meat in my toe. Like that's how snapped it was. I snapped it completely.
No, don't show me that. I'll spew up.
Yeah. So like we're charged up. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. And he's like, oh, that's disgusting. And they're like, oh, he finally found a foot he doesn't like. I was like, I'm offended. My foot is beautiful. He's like, brother, I can see the meat in the middle of your toe. Like that is actually disgusting. Like I was like,
man. Look, again, there's a market. There's an audience
for everybody.
Everyone's got their little kink. One day we'll find someone who loves your foot, brother. But
they'll pay for it. I don't want them to love it literally. I just wanted somebody to pay me money.
I actually, a few years ago, I know I got stories for days. Another guy on Tinder. These Tinder boys, bro, I'm telling you, they're vicious. And the sister girls out here, let me just tell you right now, all these people, okay, now I'm going to tell you as well because you're married. So everyone who's married, who's in a relationship, listen to me when I tell you, the grass isn't greener, okay? The grass is dead on this side of the fence. Stay where you are. I don't care how bad or how good your relationship is. Just stay, because you can't handle it out here in the single game. I've been in this shit for years, okay? I'm in the trenches, all right? I got my stripes. I got them, and I know what to do. Now, let me tell you, I met this guy. I didn't meet him, but I met him online, and he said, oh, I need to tell you something. I said, sure. He goes, I got a foot fetish. I said, okay, yeah, cool. Heard this before. No. I mean, I got a foot fetish. I will worship your feet. That's what he said to me. And I was like, And he goes,
had he seen your feet yet? Oh, no.
No. And then he said, I will pay you $200 a week to send me photos of your feet. That's all you need to do. $200 a week. And let me say, I really strongly considered it. I'm not going to lie.
I would have done it. For feet pics? Cool. Sign me up.
Bruh. I'm telling you.
You should have sent me. He said, I'll give you 50. You should have said,
just send your
Aaron, I'll give you $50 a week if you send me photos of your feet. And then you would be making $150 a week or whatever it was using my feet pics.
Your busted ass black dumper foot. Ugh.
Yeah. My foot is that wide that I have to go up a whole size in shoe because my foot's too fat for the my actual shoe size. That's I didn't wear shoes for that long. Then my feet just started looking like a hand. It was that spread out.
You can swim. You're like, you can literally swim between here
No,
and
I
the
can't
States.
swim because the water just goes between my toes.
What the hell?
Pushing.
You are never going to make feetfinder.com. Nobody wants them goddamn dump.
Oh, you said there's a market for everybody, so there's going to be one out there like messed up. Because you get them messed up. People would like wear the shoes that are too small.
Yeah,
mine was the opposite. I didn't have shoes that were too small. I just didn't wear shoes. And now
I don't think the market is going to be threatened by your foot in the foot fetish department. But anyway, good luck to those. But if you are somebody who does this for a living, I don't care if it's Foot Finder, if it's OnlyFans, honestly, hit us up at Them Yarns, the podcast.
We can keep you anonymous.
We will keep totally anonymous. We would love to yarn to you on the podcast because I love this type of detail. I'm so intrigued.
Yeah. I want to know about the streaming. Like, how does it, like, you know, what is it? What happens?
Who's your regulars?
Do you use AI?
Oh, AI now, that's going to change the porn game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what, too? It can, like, make it worse. It'll make it
definitely make it worse.
Yeah, let's not get into that.
You get them kids who are making the fakes with the girls from the school. Like, oh, lads, you need to wake up. That's
so bad. But yeah, if you are a content creator on any of those sites, please hit us up at Them Yarns, the podcast, on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, and let us know. It's time to play How Black Are You?
How black are you?
Here we go.
Sister, you got me a little while ago with your deadly questions. And so now it's your turn because I have my certificate. I'm all free and in the clear, or free and in the black, whichever way you want to say.
Now, if you don't know what this game is called How Black Are You? So we just play it. We're playing things on. It's gonna just test our level of blackness on each other's side. So then we can give out confirmation of Aboriginalities here on the podcast. So I did last round. Aaron passed it. Thank God he is officially black. So now you got questions for me, brother. I am ready. God, I hope I pass because this is going to be really awkward, a white person hosting Them Yarns. So, yeah.
That would be the face of the podcast.
Oh, no.
So what we didn't tell you is that he's actually just Scottish.
Damn, only clan. No, what would it be in Scotland? Only bagpipes. Nah, gammon. All right, let's go. Now I'm being delirious. All right, you ready? Give me some questions. Hit me.
Okay. So the first question is, you just moved into a house. You don't have enough curtains for all the windows in your place. Do you A, go buy some curtains that day? B, leave it, just let the neighbours see everything? C, put an Aboriginal reggae flag up that you definitely have in your collection? D, put a cupboard in front of it.
I hate that I've done this, and
I know.
I also was at my brother's the other day, and he has the Aboriginal flag hanging in his window, and I've done it. I've got a Bob Marley sarong that I wear around the house every other day. That's a mix between the curtain and a skirt. So did I pass? I'm going to choose C.
C, yes. And when I say reggae, I should have said reggae or island. There's a whole there's a whole range of little Sulus and sarongs and things that we've seen up in different people's places. But
all from the Cairns night markets and Darwin Middle Beach markets. Awesome. Okay, hit me up.
That was a good one. All right. So what's your classic Arnie move at a community meeting? You're 40 now, so you're almost into Arnie stage.
Wow. Thanks for the reminder.
Do you A, take the minutes? B, fall asleep? C, bring a feed and gossip the whole time? Or D, ask, whose mob are they again? Every 10 minutes.
Is there a above all? Because that's the trick question, isn't it?
It's a trick question. That's correct.
Thank you.
All of the above. It's E, all of the above.
Except I don't take very good minutes, so I always make somebody else do that. I'm not the minute-taking guy. Yeah.
Fair enough. It is an ADHD trait that minutes aren't a great
It's
strength
yeah.
of
My
what
comprehension
they can
skills
do.
are no good. You know what I love about that though is like when you go to these community meetings and then you go onto a family thing and you see an auntie and they go, "Who's that one belong to again? How they belong to us?" I love
Yeah,
that. There's always a confused auntie. I know your
yeah,
face. Where you from, bub? Who's your? Yeah. All right. Sorry. Go. I got a flashback. All right.
that's all
Question
right.
number 3.
What's the real reason everyone goes quiet when an uncle grabs the mic at a family gathering? Is it A, respect for his wisdom,
It's not it. Sorry.
B, because he's telling the same story for the 47th time, C, he's holding the tongs, or D, that yarn's going to go for a long time and it makes you slack?
I can tell you, my uncle, and I've got a good uncle in mind, and he's passed away now. But I gotta say it, Uncle Doug, I love ya. He was the king of it. So I've got to go a mix of B and D of that yarn, telling that same yarn, and then that yarn going so long.
Yeah,
Yeah. Did I get it right?
you did. You definitely got it
Yes.
right. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of the funny things I find about, if you're working with blackfellas, if you have an uncle in the team and how long that answer can go for. So we we had we got one uncle in one of the teams I work with, and we just did like a simple introduction. You're like, hey, who's your mob? What's your name? Who's your mob? And what's your role? What job do you have? This lad spoke for 6 minutes.
Oh my
I was like, how
God.
did I go from, hi, I'm Aaron, I'm a Boyle Sassy man, and I am the HR guy.
That's it.
That's it. That's what I said.
That's
Then he
all
went,
you asked for.
that's all, that's the three things. This lad told us his name, his family connection, his country connection, his totem, his family story connection to the totem, where that totem's connected to, what the songline is, and then he started talking about his job. He went into his position description, his blah blah blah, his strategy. I'm like, uncle, like
And everyone
you
is
already
there
you already got
like,
the job, like, and everybody's there like, oh, it's so lovely to hear this uncle speak. I'm like,
nah.
don't
They
encourage him, like,
play
he's
up, hey. Our elders play up. They know that no one's going to wrap them up. So they
yeah,
take their moment to really get in there and just drag that yarn out.
yeah, yeah,
Family
yeah,
birthdays are even worse. And my Uncle Doug, he was notorious for speech at the end.
yeah, yeah.
But he'll go, no, you mob go first. Anyone else want to go first? And then he would wait till everyone's done. Then he'd get that mic then and he'd stand up at that mic. Here, listen here now, yous mob. And then he'd drag that yarn. And then he wanted to be the last one to speak. He had to be
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
last speaker so he could take the longest time. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
here we go. And we'd all just look at each other, across the room like your
Yeah.
uncle, like, oh, God love him. All
Yeah,
right, so I
that's
got
it.
it right. Sweet.
You got it
Okay,
right.
what are we
Yeah.
up to? Question number 4.
Question number 4. What does it mean when a black person says, I'll be there soon? A, they're already on their way. B, they're still in the shower. C, they haven't even left home. D, they're not even coming. Just move on with your life.
It's definitely not A. It's
It's
definitely,
definitely not I. If they say
yeah.
they're on their way, they're lying.
Man, what do we think about? What do we think about Murray time, Corey time, whatever you want to call Island time?
Island time.
Oh man, Island time next level. You think Murray time bad? Then you go
Yes.
TI, and you're like, damn, okay. I'm not notorious for Murray time. I'm pretty good, but
Yeah.
I find as I'm getting older, I'm starting to slip. I'm like, it'll only take me 15 minutes to get ready. But in fact, it takes me an hour. And I'm like, shit, running late, be there
Yes.
soon. I reckon it's a good mix between C and D. Just then they're probably still an hour away. Well, just move on with your life. Just
Just
Yeah.
move. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
easy
done.
just to move on with your life and not think about when they're going to get there. Like,
I'll see you next year.
I'll see you. Yeah, I'll see you when you decide to come over. One of the things I love about when I talk about Murray time at work, if I'm
Yeah.
doing like training and stuff, is different cultures. So we know Murray time's a thing for us, but every culture uses their culture as an excuse to be late.
Every culture.
You know what I mean? So
It's Indian
it-
time. What do you mean? Like everyone's got
Yeah.
it.
Everyone's got it. So they want that. They have a different name for it, but yeah, like I was doing some training and there's some Europeans in it, and they're like, each of them were like, "Oh, you mean like Gaelic time or
Yeah,
blah
yeah,
blah
yeah.
blah time?" And we're like, I was like, "What's that?" She's like, "Well, but I think what I'm saying is like every culture just uses their culture for a reason to be late, and it's just because they don't want to, they're not supposed to be there on time or something." I
No
was like, "Oh,
one.
that's deadly." So
Love that.
shout out to whatever your time is. All right,
Here we go.
question 5 or question 6.
Question 6, I think it is.
Um, what does a quick yarn really mean to blackfellas? A, 5 minutes tops.
As if.
B, 15 minutes with tea. C, 4 hour phone yarn rundowns and carry-ons. D, a full-blown community meeting.
Oh man, it could actually turn from the look. I think every mob goes in with the intention it's going to be a 5-minute yarn, and then the yarn. It depends on the setting. Okay, it depends
Yeah.
on the setting. It depends on. I saw a sister girl the other day. I was on my way home, and I was like, "Hey, how are you?" And she was with another community member that I knew, an uncle, and her husband, and we were like. Next minute, I was just on my way to get home. So I was like traveling through and it was just a 5-minute stop. Hey, how are you? Oh, it's good to see you, Uncle. Rah, rah, rah. That yarn went for 25 minutes and I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
even more. And if I hadn't gone, hey, I really got to go because it's dark,
Yeah,
it would have kept going. And it can
that's
turn
funny.
into that do you want to go grab a feed or like, do you want to go get that tea or cup?
Yeah,
Man,
yeah,
it's,
yeah.
yeah. What's the longest yarn you've had on the phone?
I don't even know. So, but I will say that's how I found out that I was deaf. So, for
Really?
the listeners that don't know, I have only got 60% of my hearing total. But how I found out was when I got it, like when I moved away from home and I was because talking on the phone
Yeah,
and
right.
I like kept switching to my other ears. Like, oh, and like my arm was getting tired because my left arm was getting tired from holding the phone for that long. So then I had to put my right arm. This is before speakerphones, kids. And so then I switched to my right arm, and somebody saw me like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, holding my phone up, like, put it on the other ear. And I put it
Yeah.
on my other ear, and I couldn't hear. I was like, and so
Wow.
I was switching ears with the phone. I was like, "Oh, I'm deaf." And
You
like,
couldn't hear it. What is it? Your right ear.
yeah, my right ear, yeah. So
Jeez.
like I was holding my left hand up, my left arm got tired, put my right arm up, and the lad walked past, like, "What are you doing, you idiot? Like, just switch ears." I'm like, "Oh no, that's why I don't switch ears."
That
But
is
I'd never thought
why.
about it before until I was,
Yep.
yeah, like yarning on the phone for that long. That
Yeah. I've got a sister girl that she'll message me and she'll go, Oi, sis, do you have a quick 5 minutes? And
yeah,
I go, you know damn well it's not going to be
it's not
five
going to be 5 minutes.
minutes.
No,
And every time it's at least 4 hours, minimum 4 hours conversation. And we'll talk about the same things we've talked about. And I don't know if
yeah,
it's just a black Arnie thing,
yeah,
but we
definitely.
can just talk about the same yarns that we talked
Mm.
about last week and it goes for 4 hours. How?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, some people you can just talk on the phone to. You just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and you
Yeah.
might have had that same yarn 17 times, but like, yeah, that we're just going to keep talking about this. So,
You know what I hate about that now, though, with blackfellas, especially elders, they will
mm,
put the phone on loudspeaker and have that long
yes,
yarn. Come on,
yeah,
in a
come on
public
now.
space, you'll
Yeah,
see
come
it.
on.
Where are you, mob? Yeah, and they speak louder. And then
Yeah,
the person on the phone speaking like, you're like, oh, it's so
yeah,
tiring, man. My dad
yes,
does it and he still can't hear. I'm like,
yeah. That's going to be me.
crack up.
Uh, Somebody should buy me some. What are those earpods? Because I
Yeah, the
can't hear
new
properly, so
ones.
I
Have you
need.
heard about those? And they like link in. They're like a
Yeah,
full hearing device. That's going to be you, bro.
yeah. I definitely need that. Thank
All
you.
right, let's go.
All
What are
right.
we doing?
Question 7. You're
Wait, did I
walking
get
down.
that right? Come on, I need to know my
Oh
level of
yes, yes,
blackness. Oh,
definitely. Sorry,
thank
yes, you definitely got
God.
that right.
Here I am thinking I'm
Apologies.
white. Jesus. Okay, God.
Apologies. All right. You're walking down the street. You look across the road. Or do you see another person who you think is a black fella? Do you A, put your hands together and bow? Do you B, completely ignore them because you don't know who they are and you keep walking straight ahead? Do you C, give them a nod and give them the hand flick? Or do you D, cross the road and give them a hug?
Depends on where I am. So if I generally I'm in the mall a lot. So if I see a lot of mob in there and if it's just me and that person, I'll generally do hey uncle or hey auntie, like I'll do a little like
The head
you know,
nod, yep.
I do the head nod, or I'll do like a little smile. If I'm in a big crowd and I see someone, I'm like, who's that? Oh, Doris. I'll always Doris. Who is that person? Will I always go out of my way to be like, hey, which way? No, I won't.
I don't call out. You're right.
You don't call out. You just do a little. If it's a one-on-one, if you're just walking past someone, like I did it yesterday. I was with a bulla the other day, and we, you know, especially when you see visibly black people, it's deadly, you know, especially in Queensland. And in the city especially, it's like, oh, it's nice because back home in North Queensland, there's a lot more visibly black fellas. So when you're in the city and everyone's majority white and then you see this black person, you're like, oh, mad. And he was, you could see he was either from, you know, you can look that face. So he was like a North Queenslander of some sort, probably like Cape looking, like Cape York or somewhere. And I think because we're at DFO, so there were lots of, you know, you can tell when people are down. And my bowler's Torres Strait Islander, and he's dark. And so me and him was walking. I've got always was shirt on. So me and him are walking, and then our uncle's looking at us. We're looking at him. We're like, oh, hello, how are you? He's like, hello.
Hello.
Like, I love that, you know, especially in a city environment. It's deadly.
One of the cool times I went to Vegas last year.
You went to Nagas? No, Gavin.
To
Sorry,
Vegas.
I had to.
I went to Vegas last year for the NRL round because the mighty Brisbane Broncos were playing.
Is that when I made the T-shirt for you?
Yes, that's correct. That was deadly. So yeah, she tried to make the story about.
Sorry, I just remembered. You know, we have to tell people. I made Nagas a whole like T-shirt that said. Well, actually, you came to me, didn't you? And said, how am I going to
do this?
A customized T-shirt with Nagas's face on it, and I ended up making a pretty funny one.
Yeah, it was deadly.
Sorry, keep going. Yarn.
And so I wore like a different black shirt. Like I tried to wear like Aboriginal flag, or always will be, or it's in my DNA, like something like that. You know, just to let the mob know that there's black fellas in Vegas too. So we went to a Lakers game. Had my Lakers singlet on. You know, LeBron was playing. Had my LeBron jersey on. Blah blah blah.
Were you dying watching LeBron? Were you just?
Oh, it was the greatest night of my life. Yeah, one of the greatest nights of my life.
He's your favorite. Hey, he's your all-time favorite.
He's my goat. That's right. So come at me if you want to fight about it. We'll talk about it on the podcast. But yeah, so that was pretty deadly. Like, but there was a lad and his missus, and they were on. Like, I saw he had a black fella shirt on too. But they didn't see us because they were Facebook Live, like, oh, we're in Staple or whatever it's called now, crypto, blah, blah, blah. And then I yelled out, hey, which way, as we were going through. And they're like, hey, brother. And people in Queensland saw me and my cousin on the live. They're like, hey, that's Nagas and Cookie. Like, hey, sir. But they're like, oh. And so we caught up with the mob later. They're like, oh, that was a crack. I can't remember their names, but.
It wasn't David Conlon.
I don't know. But they were one of them was Waka Waka Mob, and I can't remember where the other one was from. But both man and woman were both Aboriginal.
I swear, no. Are you sure it wasn't David Conlon? I swear it was. I remember seeing it was the person that we both knew, and I was like, of course you two saw each other over there.
Yeah, it might have been.
You have to go back and have a look. Shout out to David Conlon. Inala represent 4077. Sorry.
It might be David Conlon. But yeah, so the deadly thing was like we saw each other and we were sitting in the same section of the game, but they were just on like Facebook Live and we're like, hey, which way? And then like, yeah, people were like, oh, I know, like they knew us through the Facebook Live. And so that was like a really deadly time to like,
on the other side of the world.
Being a black fella, other side of the world in this stadium with 20,000 people. And we were sitting like 3 rows away from each other. And they were on Facebook Live just as somebody that we knew was watching that Facebook Live. All right. What are we up to? Question 8.
Yep. Let's go.
What is the official blackfella handshake? A firm grip with heavy eye contact. A deadly handshake into the one-arm hug. A high five, fist bump, and butt bump.
Church. No, you didn't.
Or finger guns to the nod.
No, it's got to be B. It's got to be the slap. Bring it in, cuz.
Bring it in. One-arm hug.
You know,
sometimes you do a 2-arm hug, depending on how you.
2-arm hug depends on who it is. The other day, I got pulled up by the same buller. I dropped him at the airport. I went to go in for the hand slap. Yeah, go on then, buller, catch it. Then he goes, excuse me, it's 2 slaps. We've always done 2. Like,
yeah.
All right, sorry, bro. I've been away from Townsville for too long. So, it's got to be the slap. And I've hung around too many bullers, so I I generally go in for the which way? Like I do the bulla handshake because I've just hung around so many. So, but the bullas come in to give me a hug, like a respectful, like, hey, sis, how are you? But I'm always going in for the bulla shake. It's got to be that. It's the black handshake.
It is the black handshake. And the island version is a little bit different, isn't it? Mm-hmm. That's what you're talking about when you're saying the bulla handshake.
Oh, no, well, like, sorry, just the brother handshake. Like
the brother hand.
Yeah.
Grab, flick,
Yeah, with the little, the grab of the hand. You've got to get a solid grab. Yeah. Maybe we can do it on our Instagram story at some point just so people know,
so people know. The funny thing about that, the brother handshake is I went to Vanuatu, so the Nagas name is actually from Vanuatu. Long story, but we're not actually named Nagas until we got here. But yeah, so I went over there and they meeting like taxi drivers and stuff. And I was just coming up and I was just doing the brother handshake, and they're like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's how we do it in Australia too." Like, "Hey, that's how they shake hands in Australia too." Like, that was losing their minds, eh? So
I feel like it's a coloured person thing.
It's a coloured person thing, yeah.
I love that clip of Obama back in the day, and he was just going up to everyone. Then he,
I was about to say that,
black man just went straight in. It's a high, like yes, and it's a big connection.
So we're up to question 9.
All right, let's go.
You're doing so far. Have you got any wrong so far?
I don't think 8. Yeah. So what's the minimum for confirmation? It's 8 out of 10. Yes.
Yeah. You got there, but that's fine. You better see if you're black enough to own a black business. What's the next question? What's the correct reaction when you find out someone is your cousin? A, that's cool. B, act surprised, then go about your day. C, work out who their mob is and how, and then call them cuz, uncle, auntie, etc. Say, true, small world, eh?
Who says that? Like, what blackfullas is like, oh, really? Yeah, small world. Like, who says that? I
say that, but I'd say there's a whole lot more that goes with it. I say,
yeah,
true, small world. If you're a black fella, eh? Can't go nowhere. Like, true, small world, eh?
You got to elaborate it, and then at the end of it, you're like, well, actually, not really. It's not a small world when you're black. Like, it is the smallest of smaller. Oh, how funny! It's got to be the C.
C, that's right. Work out who their mob is, and then you call them cuss, uncle, auntie for the rest of your life. Even, I still do that for people who I know I'm not related to anymore. I'm like, when we grew up, I thought you were my cousin because you were just a brown person that was with me. But it turns out we are, in fact, from completely different states. But
and my mum had so many friends. So every one of those are my aunties. So I thought all of their kids were technically my family. So the kinship continues. So am I officially black? Is that the last question?
Yeah, you're officially black. Congratulations. And you can own a black business. So, bonus. Congratulations.
So I do get to keep my black business as well?
You get to keep it, and you get to open another one because you get a lot of
the benefits.
Intergenerational trauma that you've got to get over, and you need lots of money to do that. So,
oh my God, how black are you? What a game, hey? I love it. We're giving out our confirmations all around. But all right, I got you on the next game, brother. I'm telling you right now. I got you.
And if you got any questions that you need us to ask because you think we're going too easy, send them in. Let us know what questions you want, because I was told for mine that it was too easy. And
what,
that
for your game?
When you asked me the questions.
Oh, wow.
They're like, oh, that was too easy. Like, your mom need to step it up.
Well, come on then.
But we also don't want to be racist,
It's not as easy as it looks. Try not to be stereotypical with being stereotypical. So if you think you could write the questions better, then get at us, them yarns. And also give us a follow on, you know what I actually really love? I love when we get the listener feedback, which is great. If it's good feedback, if it's bad, then whatever, I hate you and I will block you. But I'm not hateful at all. But I really love the comments on Spotify when people leave Spotify comments and Instagram comments. We're getting the Instagram messages. Please send us through anything you want us to yarn about.
Leave us a comment on Spotify or YouTube or something, and we'll give you a shout out. That'll be
definitely.
That'll be the thing.
Ask a question. We're out of here. Drop us a line.
Thanks, everybody.
Give us a follow, and we'll catch you next episode.
GG. Yo, Walt.
Sexual.